Hey y'all, it's your girl Hope, your TV movie bestie, and I watch good shit, and I'm back with episode 6 of Memory of a Killer. Alright, this episode was a lot. It started off with action right away. Angelo, he kills a priest because he's been molesting children. And then we go back to what's been happening in episodes 1 through 4. So if you recall, episode 5 was a throwback episode where we really got a glimpse into who Angelo and his brother are. So now this episode focuses more on the continuation of episodes 1 through 4. And what's happened here is Angelo's daughter, Maria, someone tried to shoot her. And so Angelo, he found that person and he killed that person. So that person is Henry. So there's a big investigation going on. One, why was Henry trying to kill Maria? And two, who now killed Henry? So with the case, we find a clue. And the clue is there are some fibers at the crime scene that came from a very expensive jacket. Now, this belongs to Angelo, of course, but they don't know that. They just know that it's a very expensive jacket, and that seems out of place for the crime scene, which was just like out in the middle of the woods in a river, a stream, whatever. So that's a clue for them. Okay, now Angelo, remember, he is experiencing memory loss. It's very similar to his brother who has early onset Alzheimer's. So he goes to the doctor to find out what's going on. And he does some tests, and the doctor says, yes, we think that it is the start of Alzheimer's. So Angelo's like, all right, what are my options? So the doctor says, well, I can give you a pill. And he says that's going to boost your memory, but you'll still develop symptoms. Or you can do like a shot, and that will slow the progression of the disease. And so Angelo's like, okay, what symptoms am I looking for? So the doctor says cognitive and behavioral decline. Cognitive meaning like you'll have more memory loss, you'll lose your sense of direction, you won't be able to make decisions. And then behavioral is like you will be less trusting, you will have increased anxiety, things of that nature. So Angelo is like, okay. So he takes the pill option. Okay, now we go to Angelo's daughter, Maria. Now, Maria, she is been going to the gun range, since she almost got killed. She's been at the gun range, beefing up her skills. And so she talks to the instructor and she's like, if I wanted to get a gun, like on the low, how would I do that? And so he's like, I could help you with that. And he's like, but you should think about this, because if you get a gun, that increases the likelihood that you might shoot somebody, like you trying to shoot somebody. And so she's like, yeah, but if somebody is coming at me, like, of course. And so he's like, yeah, I get it. But, if you shoot and kill somebody, like that's a person who had likes and dislikes, and they were someone's child. And, so just be prepared for the aftermath of if you shoot somebody and kill them. And she's like, okay, like, maybe I should think about it. So now we go back to Angelo. So Angelo is having coffee with his girlfriend. His girlfriend is Nikki. And so Nikki is like, you all right, Angelo? And she's like, you've been kind of saying weird stuff. He's been doing weird stuff because, he got this early onset. But she doesn't know that. And so she's like, I know this sounds weird. She said, but my mom was a drunk and she decided to stop drinking like in her 60s. And when she started saying like weird stuff and, acting kind of crazy. And so she said, do you have any addictions? And maybe that's what's going on with you. And Angela's like, I said a few off things, like, chill. It's all good. I'm not crazy or I don't have any addictions. So anyways, they have that little run in, and then Angelo, he goes and he shows up at the restaurant. And so Joe is there. Remember, that's Dutch, his partner, that's his nephew. And so Angelo's like, I got our next assignment. And he's like, we have to kill this guy, Hansen. Hansen used to clean money for the Russians, and now he turned state, and he's a witness for them. And because they feel like, they got a big person, they are putting him all on TV, saying, oh, he's now a model citizen, he did the right thing, all this stuff. And so he says, Dutch wants us to kill him on TV. And so Joe's like, what? How are we going to do that? And he's like, well, you got to figure it out. So he's like, okay. So let's go back to the case. So Jeff is Maria's husband. And he goes to the police station. He's like, what's going on with the case? Like, what evidence y'all got? What clues y'all got? What's happening? And so Detective Woods, who's the head of the case, who also happens to have a past with Maria, they used to date, and it's clear that there are still some lingering feelings there. And so he's like, we doing what we can. We working hard on it. He's like, the FBI is involved. And he's like, we're gonna figure this out. And so Jeff is like, look, I want to hire a private detective. Like, I think we need all hands on deck. And so Detective Woods is like, no. We got enough people involved. Like, let's not compromise the case. Let's just allow us to do our job. And so Jeff is like, you sure you're doing your job? And so he's like, yes, I am. And he's like, all right, okay, I'll let it go for now. So now we go back to Nikki and Angelo. So it's now night, they're having dinner, and Angelo, he makes a fake phone call and allows Nikki to overhear it. Now, this is the thing. So Angelo doesn't trust Nikki because when he was figuring out who, tried to shoot his daughter and then why and who hired him and all of this, he found a cell phone and he started calling the numbers in the phone. And the last number he called was Nikki. And so she's like, Leo, where you at? I've been trying to reach you forever. And so he's like, what the fuck? So he hangs up. So he set Nikki up to, kind of see what's up. So Nikki, of course, hears all this, but she says nothing at the moment. So, okay, back to the assignment that Angelo and Joe have. So they figure out a way to get to this guy. He's going to be on TV someday. And so they pretend to be security so they can get close to him. And Joe has devised this plan. He found out that the guy has a defibrillator and basically he can trigger it and the guy would have a heart attack and die on TV. So that's the plan. Everything's going good. Angelo has to distract security so that Joe can get in and do his little thing. And while this is happening, Angelo blacks out again and he sees the security guard, but he thinks it's his brother. And so his brother is like, what did this guy do? Are you sure you want to kill him? And so Angelo's just kind of like, what's going on? But then he comes to and he eventually does kill the guy. And, him and Joe, they complete the plan. They kill Hansen. All is well there. Now, Angelo, remember he set up Nikki. So he goes to the place that he said on the phone that he was meeting somebody, whatever. And he waits for Nikki. And he got a gun. But Nikki doesn't show. This couple shows and they're just making out or whatever. So Angelo's like, okay. Where is Nikki? So, plot twist. Nikki is at Angelo's doctor's office and she's like, give me everything you have. And so the doctor hands her all of the documents that he gave, from the conversation that he had with Angelo earlier, announcing the early onset Alzheimer's. And so he's like, I could get in trouble, I could get fired. And she's like, you better keep doing what I told you to do, or you'll lose a lot more than your job. Oh shit. Who is Nikki? Like, woo. So Nikki is definitely not to be trusted. Okay, so now the last little piece of thing that happens in the episode is Jeff went ahead and hired that private detective, and the detective found a button. And the button is from a very expensive jacket. Of course, Angelo's again. So now we have two pieces of evidence from a very specific thing, a expensive jacket that all belongs to Angelo. And meanwhile, Angelo's at home. He's going through his clothes and he realizes, I'm missing a button. And he's like, And so fade to black, the episode goes off. Okay, y'all, this thing is getting good. I am highly suspect of Nikki. Who is she? What she got going on? Like, what if she's an assassin or something? But I do like that she's a foil to Angela, and I like that she's a woman, and I like that they're in a relationship, like very Mr. and Mrs. Smith, So I'm excited to see what's to come in the following episode, but it's heating up. It's getting good, y'all. So I hope y'all are watching, and if you are, let me know what you think down in the comments, like, subscribe. Let's talk about it. And until the next episode, bye, besties.